and easy. We're done with that though.
Is it the jump rope?
Yeah. Whenever I skip rope, I can't use these wireless headphones. They fall right out of my ears. So of course, it would be helpful if I could get the rope itself not to fall out of my hands. Finish my protein shake and then we'll hit this. New name, who this? Yes, sir. For those of you who don't know me, my name is BullMuscle. For those of you who know me as Beer Battered Ag, yes, I'm going through a rebrand. This seems like a pretty good time to talk about that, so let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm a diehard Aggie.
The eyes of Texas are upon you. That is the song they sing so well. Sounds like hell! So goodbye to Texas University. We're gonna beat you all to chigga-roo-ga-ram, rock tough, real stuff, Texas A&M. Goodbye.
We get a little bit more all. So why can't I click all? Oh, yeah, there it goes. Nice. Alright, let's do one more bronze bar. If you adopt the mindset, and this is a quote from Jacob Fisker of Early Retirement Extreme, if you know that guy, 10 points to you. But it's a quote that I find unbelievably poignant in today's era. Spending money represents a failure to solve one's problems by smarter means. I'm gonna repeat that. Spending money represents a failure to solve one's problems by smarter means. That's painful. But yes, my friends, pure protein, as theirs makes no difference. From raw egg whites. It's disgusting. The taste is vile, and it smells. But 100. Yeah, my poor roommate has to deal with the farts that come from this, and as you might imagine, they're not pleasant. But let me go ahead and knock this bad boy down. Oh, that's vile. Yep, nice and easy. We're done with that though.
Is it the jump rope?
Yeah. Whenever I skip rope, I can't use these wireless headphones. They fall right out of my ears. So of course, it would be helpful if I could get the rope itself not to fall out of my hands. Finish my protein shake and then we'll hit this. New name, who this? Yes, sir. For those of you who don't know me, my name is BullMuscle. For those of you who know me as Beer Battered Ag, yes, I'm going through a rebrand. This seems like a pretty good time to talk about that, so let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm a diehard Aggie.
The eyes of Texas are upon you. That is the song they sing so well. Sounds like hell! So goodbye to Texas University. We're gonna beat you all to chigga-roo-ga-ram, rock tough, real stuff, Texas A&M. Goodbye.
We get a little bit more all. So why can't I click all? Oh, yeah, there it goes. Nice. Alright, let's do one more bronze bar. If you adopt the mindset, and this is a quote from Jacob Fisker of Early Retirement Extreme, if you know that guy, 10 points to you. But it's a quote that I find unbelievably poignant in today's era. Spending money represents a failure to solve one's problems by smarter means. I'm gonna repeat that. Spending money represents a failure to solve one's problems by smarter means. That's painful. But yes, my friends, pure protein, as theirs makes no difference. From raw egg whites. It's disgusting. The taste is vile, and it smells. but 100. Yeah, my poor roommate has to deal with the farts that come from this, and as you might imagine, they're not pleasant. But let me go ahead and knock this bad boy down. Oh, that's vile. Yep, nice and easy. We're done with that though.
Isn't the jump rope?
Yeah. Whenever I skip rope, I can't use these wireless headphones. They fall right out of my ears. So of course, it would be helpful if I could get the rope itself not to fall out of my hands. Finish my protein shake and then we'll hit this. New name, who this? Yes, sir. For those of you who don't know me, my name is BullMuscle. For those of you who know me as Beer Battered Aggie, yes, I'm going through a rebrand. This seems like a pretty good time to talk about that, so let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm a diehard Aggie.
The eyes of Texas are up.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome on in. I'm your host, BullMuscle, and the light bulb is deciding not to work right now. So technical difficulties, please stand by. Hey, what if I just decided to not say everything? Oh, you son of a bitch. No, you want to. Come on now. I feel like this. Just one of these days. Good morning, everyone. Thought you made it this morning, thought you wouldn't make it. Well, I definitely don't feel 100%, but we're gonna make it happen, regardless. Tube light sit. I'm trying not to electrocute myself as I try to get this to work. Damn, unreliable starter. Get in there. There she goes. Doesn't work the first time, it'll work the sixth. Electricity is a mystery to me. Anyway, sorry about all that. Normalize resting while sick. No. The thing is, right, I was on vacation last week, or not vacation. I was on a work trip last week, and I'll be on vacation this upcoming week. I don't lift today, tomorrow, and Saturday. I'm not going to be able to for a whole week, and that's where you get to the point of atrophy, is with, you're not lifting for multiple weeks. I can't do that. It's also not good for my mental health. I lift for more than just, for the Middle Ages, welcome on in. Phoenix System, welcome on in. Yeah, I'm still slightly under the weather, but we're making it happen. I feel better than I did yesterday, though. I think the worst of it's over. I did not feel good last night, but I got 9 hours of sleep, so I feel pretty decent, all things considered. Probably won't go my absolute hardest today, but we're still gonna hit it. That'll work. All right. So we have the whole agenda today. Today, we're hitting deadlifts. More importantly, or more specifically, I should say, we're hitting trap bar deadlifts. Why are we hitting those? Because well, I did squats last leg day in here and I didn't feel like doing straight bar, so we're gonna do trap bar.
Jumping jock, sorry. Howdy, lone traveler. Early Middle Ages asks, do I have a job that correlates to my field? Yes, I do. I work in the nuclear industry. I'm a mechanical engineer. Really, at this point, okay, so I got a mechanical engineering degree. I've been working in the nuclear industry long enough to where I'd call myself a nuclear engineer. You're an engineer, but electricity scares you. Fam, I can tell you the ins and outs of how a nuclear reactor works, but electricity, that shit's wizardry to me. Like, making the wires, it doesn't, like, wiring up my own shit, I did wire this up and it worked, but, like, I couldn't tell you why the light decided to come on the 6th time I took the tube light out and put it back in, as opposed to the 3rd, 4th, or 5th. What is far more complicated though? Yes, I know, that's the thing. But electricity isn't, don't ask me why, this is just how I am. Is my job hard? Yeah, I'd say so. I get guys who work in healthcare talk to me and complain about the amount of red tape that they have to deal with in the healthcare industry. And it is quite strong. It's certainly one of the more regulated industries in the US, but they sit there and talk as though they are the most over-regulated industry in the, oh, we have a follow. Thank you very much, Rosetta77. Welcome to the bullpen. Anyway, these healthcare guys talk about how bad the red tape in healthcare is. They would do that when we were at Ultimate Frisbee. And me and the other nuclear guys, either at Plant Vogel across the river in Georgia or at my site here in South Carolina, we just start laughing. We're like, bless your heart, you have no idea. No, the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission is the regulatory industry, or it's the regulatory body that makes every other private industry say, oh, thank God, I only have to work with these regulations instead of whatever the nuclear industry has to deal with. It is shocking. I mean, when the truth be told, we have to work with not just the NRC, but NNSA. We have to deal with EPA, DOE, and a host more. This is just a warm-up. Do the start. Hey, I'm Fatal. Thank you very much for the sub. Appreciate it. It's already getting warm in here. I can just tell. Usually I can always tell in the warm-up set. Is this going to be a strong day, or am I going to be struggling? And it's going to be the latter today, which doesn't really surprise me, considering that I have been under the weather the last couple of days, but that's no excuse not to push hard and give it your all. So we may not hit quite as hard as we normally do, but I'm still going to give it my best. That's what I expect from myself, and it's what you should expect from all of y'all. Let's see, we hit 320. Okay. I'm going to start with a set at 230 for reps. That's probably the move. All right. couple first-time chats. One day at a time, consistency and hard work. Damn right. That's yes, absolutely. Good to see you, Kareem. Rosetta, thank you for the first-time chat. Welcome on in. Actually, I think I'm gonna back you guys up a little more so you can see what I'm doing. Touch better. There we go. All right. Let's get rolling. Now the actual workout begins. Let's put clips on it, just for safety. With a trap bar, it's very much less likely you're gonna tilt, but I've got them to be better that I use them. Oh, my back. Oh, that felt good. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. There we go. It's caught up on my rib. That does not feel good when it does that. All right, that's 15. Good start. We must keep them away. Pretty soon we'll pay. Count the cost in sorrow. Sacrifice. The future has its price. Today is only yesterday's tomorrow. You can't even tell from this angle. Smart ass. I feel pretty good. All things considered. Football's back. Damn it. I'm not looking forward to football this year. All right. Let me psych myself up. We're going to hit this. This is 320 pounds. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit sets of this and then Raider pulls. We must keep them away. Pretty soon we'll pay. Count the cost in sorrow. Sacrifice. The future has its price. And today is only yesterday's tomorrow. Here we go. There we go, that's 8. That's a good start. Big Red, you say that and then we hired Bobby Petrino. Yes, we can. Don't jinx it. Greater pulse. Ooh, these are hard. Alright, so what I'm doing with those rear pulls is I'm expanding the rib cage for those of you who haven't seen me do those before. £320, does it mean I can carry another person on my back or on my arms? Better still, actually, I've taken my brother who's 175 pounds and I've put him over my head. So the answer to your question is yes. Jason at the SEC, the Talking Heads all think A&M will bounce back. The Talking Heads predicted us to be a playoff team last year. Don't believe a word they say. 2022 black-pilled me about the Aggies. I'm 100% an A&M doomer at this point until proven otherwise. Every single time, what happened last year, if it could go wrong, it did go wrong. Hey, Limitless, good to see you. I'll give you a shout out in just a second here. I'm bouncing back from, I caught some sort of a bug after my trip up to Boston, and I gotta shed it before I go out to Washington on Monday. Because there's no way in fucking hell that I'm getting my mom sick. That I refuse to do. Those stomach vacuums, so those are Raider pulls. It's named after the famous, at least in the bodybuilding community, powerlifter named Perry Raider. He was a big figure in the lifting scene in the 50s and the 60s. And what he found was that after doing heavy leg work, it's very wise to get up on a pole and push down and try to expand out your chest to increase lung capacity and give you that really nice barrel-chested look. So that's what I was doing, and I'll do another set pretty shortly here. Let's do it. Yeah, so the stomach vacuuming is more a side effect than what I'm actually attempting to do there. So let's give a shout out to One Limitless Fitness, because she's awesome. And
Fitness. Fitness. Go check her out, y'all. She's got a damn good channel. Joey Bats is retiring today. Well, hey, cheers to a great career. All right. Next up. Let's get a little Led Zeppelin. We'll go no quarter. This is probably, this or Achilles' Last Stand is probably my favorite Led Zeppelin song. Houses of the Holy is an amazing album. It does not get the love that it should. Still getting all that disgusting mucus and whatnot. That's just a reality of just trying to get over this bug. But I do always feel better after lifting, even if I'm tired. Okay. Set number 2 on trap bar. Oh, I see we have a first time chat. I'll say hi to you in a moment. Welcome to the bullpen. I will say that. Can't wait for my music to reload. Mr. Amiibo Official, thank you for the first time chat. Welcome on in. Here we go. Not bad. All right, it's 2. Let's see a tape play QB battle between Levis and Willis for sure. Yeah,
Limitless, I'm hoping so too. I slept 9 hours. I think that's why I'm actually doing pretty decent so far today. Set of 8 and a set of 9 on trap bar isn't bad. Let's see what the temp is in here. Yeah, I was worried about that. It's already well into the 80s. It says 85 right now, so that's just a tick under 30 C, and it's not going to get any cooler. Tabata deadline, need to lay off the penny. Yeah. Hey, my match showed y'all what for though, didn't they? That's kind of neat. We're not that far. We're like 2 games back from the Mets. Maybe 3. We can do this. That's my goal for the year. That's the goal for this year was to be better than last year. That's pretty much already been achieved. My goal, sort of my new stretch goal for the Nats is, can we finish in 4th place in the NL East? It's an inspiration for me. Wonderful. Well, I'm glad I'm able to inspire. That always makes me feel really happy. It's part of why I do this on stream. If you really like that and you want to see more, check out my Discord. We're not done. We got 2 more on these. And if I'm feeling up to it, I may try 370. Could even try 400, but I don't think I'm going to do that today. Here we go. I think. Whoa, dizzy. Shit. Easy. Other hand. Come on, 2 more. All right, it's 3 Raiders. Go with those. We got one more sort of 320. We're gonna go. I think we're gonna try 370 today.
But the deadline's absolutely a crapshoot. It's a lot harder, right? Rebuilds are either made or broken by the deadline in all too many cases. The question really then becomes, do you believe your team has what it takes to make it over the hump and into the playoffs? And if so, make it more than the first round, right? This is one of the things, going to a different sport, I criticized Pittsburgh for last year. Pittsburgh, the Penguins, they bought at the deadline. My Caps, we sold. Pittsburgh didn't even make the playoffs. If they had, they'd have probably lost to a pretty good Boston team. Holy shit. Yeah, the heat's getting worse. I noticed my grip is starting to slip a little bit because there's starting to sweat on my palms. So I'm gonna have to wipe down my hands and the bar. But yeah, the sweat is starting to flow a lot now. Yeah, we're gonna do another set of this. Then likely a set at 370 to really push myself heavy. And then I might try, I don't know how Romanians would really work with a trap bar, but I'm kind of curious to find out. So I might try a set of Romanians at like 230 and see how that goes. I should mention, by the way, for any of my audience that lives in the Pacific Northwest, if you live in the great state of Washington, I'm going to be in and around the Tacoma area all of next week. So if you'd like to hang out, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to spend the whole last vacation with my mom, and I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going up to see her. I love my mom, and I've missed her quite badly, actually. In all seriousness, who's going to pony up this winter to sign Shohei? Makes me gag thinking about this, but I could absolutely see the Dodgers doing it. I don't think the Mets will. They got burned this year, especially considering Shohei just got hurt. New content, wonderful. Well, that makes me very happy. Stick around, there's gonna be more. Oh. I'm definitely suffering right now, though. Let me get ready for the last set at 320. And we'll go from there. Okay. And there we go. Sorry, I needed to send a message to, that was pretty urgent, actually. It's been difficult trying to coordinate everything for this trip. Got some friends up in Bremerton that definitely gonna try and make an effort to see them if possible. Let's go. There we go. All right, last set of 320. No quit, strong like bull.
Power. Come on. That was 8. It's not bad. Okay, lightheaded. That's all right. 370 next. Chemical addictions get rid of you. So this is sure. That's not a big trap bar. There it is. It's been a hot minute. Yeah. That's gonna be tough. I don't think I'm gonna do squat today. That's a bad idea. I'll do fronts though. Seems to be looking good today. Appreciate that. How's Washington? I haven't gone there yet. I went to Boston last week. This week I'm going to out to Washington. Yeah, hearts out to Hawaii. Oh, they are burning in the Aloha State. Thanks for the bits. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you very much, Mr. Amiibo. Yeah, these are knockoff Converse I got at Walmart. They get the job done. I just like they have a flat sole. Thought you were gonna go see your mom. No, so that's the thing, I am. But that's this week. Last week was Boston. Last week was a work trip. Washington's on Monday. I hope it's nice and cool. Well, it's not gonna be more miserable than it is here. It's getting close to 90 degrees in this garage, and it's very humid. Now comes the tough set. This is 370 pounds. That's about 160 kilograms or something. Hey, Severus, good to see you. Well, you just came in for the hard part. Come on. Strong like bull. Come on! Four, I'll take it. Oh, shit, fuck me. Oh, man. I might do a second set of those. It felt pretty good. Just the grip that was getting tough there. It's, 86 here in this garage. Hey, C-Dub, thanks for following again. Yeah, well, glad you are. Welcome back. Yeah, I noticed my follower count dipped a little whiles away. It's okay, it happens. Twitch is weird like that. It'll just unfollow you from random accounts from time to time. It's annoying. Yeah, so these sets and this workout in general, I'm not going to hit my normal volume. It's just not safe. Between the heat, the fact that I'm not 100% still under the weather a little bit, it's not wise. Follow channels isn't even showing the other day. Yeah. This is tough. This is hard mode for sure now. I'll do one more set of this. We'll switch. We'll go down weight. We'll hit. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is hit. Hit this one more time. Hit. Go down weight to like 230. Hit Romanians. Do some front squats. Maybe some kettlebell swings. Some calves. That'll be about it. I'm not gonna hit the full 30 set workout today. That would be probably not very smart. Crash override. Look, man, I don't know what you're talking about. For Halloween, please be a retro cop. Oh, I can absolutely do the 70s cop look. I even have the aviators for it. Check it out. Come on, right? That works almost a little too well. Yeah. For those of you who are not here just for the fitness aspect, that's fine. You're still welcome. Just don't be too obvious about it. I don't want to get slapped by Twitch. It's not why I'm here. All right, so we're gonna do one set here, one more at 370. We go from there. I'd like to get 5 here. I would really like 5. I don't feel like my grip strength was perfect last time. It's gonna be hard to hit 5, but I think I can. As long as, if I get my grip positioning right, so that way it's not too far, I'm not tilting too far forward or back, I should get it. The strength below the belt is there. Just getting the grip positioning right on the trap bar is a bit tricky. They're at that anal, believe me. Yes, they are. Yes, they very much are. I've gotten suspended for worse, Crash. I have 1.9K followers. I've never gotten much trouble. I get drunk, smoke weed, and I was half nude half the time. Well, lucky you. I've gotten suspended multiple times for what I would call BS. So, how was your sleep last night? I actually slept okay. I got 9 hours, but it's just tough. Have I been streaming for 16 hours? Is my Twitch app tripping? It's tripping. I started at 9. Yeah, Crash. Look, I know, exactly. I don't think I do anything to raise Twitch's ire, but here's what it is. There are a group full of people who clutch their pearls on this platform, and they will go around reporting people for everything, and it's just annoying as shit. And there's nothing you can do about it, but it makes me walk on eggshells. If you want that more explicit stuff, we can talk about that and do stuff like that on my Discord, okay? Unfortunately, that's just how I have to run things. I gotta be careful. Didn't get a notification for the stream either. Yeah, dude, Twitch is tripping today. I think it was CR came in and he said all of his followers weren't showing, or all the channels he follows wasn't showing. He had to refollow to me, so it's dumb. It's not cool. I have mine on adult. Exactly, I have the adult content label on there. Well, I mean, you know, that label's only been there for a little while. It's like, I very clearly make it explicit that this is an 18 plus channel, and people will still flag and report me for what I do, which is just lifting. Like, you know, yeah, I'm gonna be hot and sweaty. It's South Carolina in August, and I have not gotten an air conditioner installed. Speaking of, tomorrow's stream will end slightly early. I may start it slightly early as well because I have a technician coming out to take a look at the electric circuit in here and give me a quote for upgrading it so that way I can put in an air conditioning unit. So, I'll keep you guys posted on how that goes. All right. I see you lab boys in here. I'm gonna give you the shout out, then we're gonna do this. This will be our last heavy set of the day. This is 370 pounds on the trap bar, which, by the way, was a gift from Mr. Lab Boys. So, I think those flaggers are just trolls. Well, it doesn't matter, right? If they're trolls, they could well be, but from an effect perspective, it doesn't really matter if they're trolls or not. If I get suspended either way. So I have to walk on eggshells. It sucks, it really does, but there's nothing I can do about it, y'all, okay? So again, if you really like the explicit stuff, I have a space for that on my Discord, okay? So go there. It's why it's there. I recognize that that is a part of my audience, so I try not to alienate y'all by giving y'all a space for that. You gotta help me play by the rules, basically. Right? Because if I get kicked off of Twitch, well, then this all kind of becomes a lot harder to do. So, you know, it is what it is. All right. Speaking of all of this, I know a while back I made a little political compass of the different kind of people on my stream. I did another one for the music I listen to on my stream, so it may be worth checking out if y'all are wondering what I'm listening to, because I am actually listening to several of the tracks on that compass today. Okay, come on. Regroup. Going cliff diving tomorrow, should make a vlog style video. Freaking do it, bro. Just make one for me, the coolest viewer. Yeah, but you don't make content there, Mikey. Lab Boys makes content, and also he gave me this trap bar. Also, he's my boy. I will always give my brother a shout out. Lab Boys is a real one. He's well, apart from being my bro, he's probably my closest friend. Yeah, we tight, man. Seriously though, check out Lab Boys' shit. It's cool. It's gonna keep getting cooler too. All right, enough sentimentality, enough bullshit. Let's hit this. Strong like bull. Strong like bull. Holy shit. Oh, I nearly just fainted there. Okay, I'm done with the heavy stuff. Oh, that was worth it. Just. Not bad. 370 for a 5 set after a 4 set. Under the weather, too. Yeah, I wanted to put you in lib center, but I couldn't justify putting you over the people that just used the song redeem to make me listen to trolley shit. Man, gives birth on stream. I won't. I've gotten close. Closer than that. Y'all have seen it when I do the 20 rep squats. Lab Boy Stevie. I wanted to find a Chad Wojak without the beard, and I couldn't find one, so I just used the generic Chad. Because, Lab Boys, you are a Chad. You keep on that king shit, bro. Yeah. No, Mikey's a cool dude. I probably should have switched you and no comprendo, to be honest. Scared some of us. It's alright. We feel like you faithfully lay flat on the floor. I'll help the blood go back to your head. Good to know. Alright. Let's get the next exercise set up. Vengeance from the grave kills the people he once saved. Nobody wants him. They just shoot him. Nobody helps him. Now he has his revenge. But yeah, Lab Boys, actually, I want you to go check out the next compass I made. I made it about the music I'm listening to. I feel like you'll fuck with a lot of the ones I put on there. There was less rap than I wanted to put on there. And it's not that I don't listen to rap songs, but that for me, a lot of rap songs, to me, it's harder to talk about them. Wait, I want to do Romanians and then fronts. So I'll put this back down on here. So I'm going to try Romanian deadlifts. I'm going to blow my nose, excuse me. Sorry about this, y'all. Oh, much better. Can breathe again. So I'm going to do Romanians here and go with that. Hey, then Fatal, I've just been working to do stuff around. I like traps. And this instead of what it meant. Ha, that's funny. Barbell more safe for the spine compared to the regular one. So Lone Traveler, it kind of works two different things. If you have good form on your straight bar, on a straight bar deadlift, they're both equally as safe. But if you're not comfortable with doing straight bar deadlifts, the trap bar is easier to learn. Anytime fainter here, it happens. We'll do something else. I'm feeling better, but I'm not 100%, nowhere close. But then Fatal, thanks for the drop in, thanks for the lurk. Crush override. 2 IPAs for $33, and that's why I will never, ever live in San Francisco. I would sooner move to Hawaii, because at least there, the rainbows are real, and not just painted everywhere to, you know, rainbow wash shit. No, that's not fair. San Francisco is pretty chill when it comes to that. I just like taking pot shots, frankly. No, seriously, San Francisco, I don't know who in your city decided that $33 for 2 IPAs is acceptable, but it's fucking not. Also, save Anchor Brewing. I want to try an Anchor someday. It's supposed to be a really, really nice beer from San Francisco. Now, I haven't spent that much time around the Bay Area. I just love giving people from the Bay Area lots of shit because I am a Texan, so that's just kind of, again, it would be weird if I wasn't giving y'all shit. It'd be like me not giving New Yorkers shit, right? my favorite thing, like one of my favorite things to do is tell people, yeah, I'm so excited. Someday I'm going to get to go to New York. Where do I want to visit? Well, Staten Island's at the top of the list. That's the kind of thing that really bothers New Yorkers, and it's too fun to, to not do. 2 12-ounce cans for $33? I'm sorry, that's just ridiculous. That's stupid. San Francisco, get it together. That's just, no, come on. That's bonkers. Dude, even Boston isn't that expensive. And Boston has some pretty damn good beers, as I learned out. Dude, I'll tell you what, Boston is a damn good city. People from Boston are really proud of being from Boston, and I never really understood it, but now I do. They very much have a lot to be proud of. Anyway, let's do some Romanians. It's called Cool Kids. Don't tell me it's a Cool Kids Club when they use a third K in the spelling. That's not right. That's a joke, okay? Lighten up. They ain't even around here anymore. All right. So we're gonna try Romanians. I'm not quite sure how this will work. So the key for Romanian is focusing on the eccentric and really not bending your knees as much, right? So the normal deadlift, you're coming down here, a lot more knees bent, especially for a trap bar. For Romanian, you're bending your knees a little, but you're much more focused on the hip hinge and stretching out those hamstrings. It's gonna be interesting to see how this works in the trap bar. It's gonna test my grip strength as well, which I can already see my calluses starting to tear up. But that's just normal for the course for a deadlift day. That's not bad. Oh, that's tough. That was 9. I'm gonna do that for 2 more sets. It's not bad. Whew, dizzy. Yep, 30 viewers. We'll do handstand push-ups after I'm done in here. Subi Minor, good to see you. Yeah, you got a free gift sub. And Jake the Neat, thanks for donating it. The positive future. The trouble with the Red Sox is that, dude, if the Red Sox were in any other division, they'd be a playoff contender. The AL East is just a madhouse this year. I won't pass out. I've lifted worse. Feeling worse, too. It's the benefit of the living in the South. Yes, it's abusive in the summer in terms of heat and humidity, but you do get resistance to it if you embrace it instead of shy away. Go Giants. Ugh. Go Nationals. I'm still salty about that 18-inning game in the playoffs some years back. Nah. Out of the NL West, my favorite team there is probably the Padres because Juan Soto's on it, and I love Juan Soto. I know he's not had the best year, but Juan Soto represented hope when he was on the Nationals, and now he's gone. I made myself sad. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I'm gonna do a couple sets of those. I think I'm gonna mix it in. I think I'm gonna do a set of front squats next. That'll be a good way to mix it up. Take the clips off. Better safe than sorry. Front squats is always a bit harder to balance coming out of the gate, so I feel like it's probably better to have clips on. took the fall okay. Here we go. Boom. I will say, as far as Bay Area teams are concerned, I don't mind the Sharks. I don't mind the 49ers. I don't really like the Warriors, and I don't really like the Giants. But I will say, between the Giants and the Dodgers, I'll root for the Giants every single time. Fuck the Dodgers. I don't like the Dodgers at all. Awesome. The beautiful run that goes down Embarcadero, finishes the stadium. Speaking of things I love about San Francisco, San Francisco in the 60s made a really great decision to cancel all the highways coming into the city. So why the Embarcadero is walkable. It didn't always used to be like that. It used to be a disgusting freeway that ripped the harbor away from the city. So I'll give a lot of credit to the people of San Francisco back then who made the right call. San Francisco's property values are a ton higher as a result. Probably too high, but you get the point. Only one because my friend likes the Dodgers because it was a World Series. Facts. I'll root for the Stros over the Dodgers. If I can't do 100 push-ups straight, through how much does doing 25 at a time change things? Not much. If I really push it, I can do 100 in a row, but why? Just do sets of 25 or 30. That's totally okay. Good form is important. Hey, Phil, good to see you. Good amount of cardio. I'm gonna do some more tonight. Thanks for being an example. I appreciate it, man. Always makes me so happy when people tell me I've helped inspire them to do better and carry on and kick ass. So thank you very much for saying that. Seriously. Phil MC. Comments like that are what makes doing these streams all worthwhile. So I genuinely thank you for that. Yeah. So I got mixed feelings about San Francisco. That city's got problems, but it's also got some pretty creative solutions. A lot better than it feels great being able to do 10 barrel-8, easily knocking out 25 or more. Don't worry about how many you can do in one go. Just worry about improvement. Remember, the journey eventually becomes the destination. And when you get to that goal, it's a great feeling. Because then you enjoy coming in here and busting ass. I'm covered in sweat. I'm lightheaded, and I'm fucking happy. All right. Oh, okay, there's that lightheadedness. I need water. Listen to a little bit of Bruce Springsteen here, a little Boss. Ride on. on the back streets. Hiding on the back streets. Here we go. Strong like bull. It's wet. Woo! Oh boy. Woo! Oh man, I had an itch. That feels so good. That's some bull behavior right there. Using a random rough surface as a itch and post. I got a big rust spot on my upper back now. Whatever, I couldn't scratch that with my hands even if I wanted to. I enjoy coming in here and busting ass for sure. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Improvement's all that matters. Improvement is all that matters. Let's do this. Come on, we gotta set front squats. We're not fucking finished in here. So we're gonna do one more set of trap bars, Romanian style. We're gonna do one more set of, two more sets of front squats. We'll be done with those. Probably gonna hit quads, or not quads, sorry, calves. I don't think I'm gonna do squats today. I think I'll do probably some kettlebell swings and that'll be it. It's really hot in here, and I'm definitely not at my 100%. Hey, Juicy, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome to the bullpen. Let's do this. Let's do this. Strong like bull. Don't quit. Two, three, four.
Come on. Come on. Hey, Supernatural. If you move to Hawaii, will you change your name to Halley Muscle? No, because even if I did, it's spelled Howley. And the reason is because Howley actually stands for, I looked this up, stands for without breath. Because when white explorers originally found Hawaii, the natives there noticed that they didn't finish their prayers with 3 breaths at the end in the way the Hawaiians did. So they said without breath, which is Haole. I learned that. But yes, form didn't break much. It's not bad considering the heat and how far deep we are into the workout. Do you front squats like that often? Yes. So a lot of people do it like this. It hurts my wrists, so I don't. Right, the whole point of front squats is not to work your wrist muscles. So it doesn't really matter how you hold it. I like it because I can hold it. If I hold it like this, it's easier for me to keep it in my shoulders, keep it centered, keep it from moving. Just go by BullMuscle, give me a name. Well, my in real life name is Calvin, but I prefer Bull. Bull is simple, it's easy to remember. One was great, just hate the cross thingy personally. It's a personal preference. Neither way is right or wrong. There's nobody, right? You gotta remember something. Nobody, when asking you about your strength in the gym, is gonna say, oh bro, what do you front squat? You know, nobody's gonna say, the front squat is not an Olympic lift, you know, in the sense that a squat, like a back squat, or a deadlift, or bench presses, right? You're using front squat as a metric for mass strength. I think you've kind of missed the point. Because you're never gonna front squat as much as you can back squat unless you've got injuries and for whatever reason you can't back squat. Most people who are healthy and able to do both will back squat more than they front squat. So for me, it's more about feel in the legs, and I can hit my legs harder because I don't have to worry about balancing it, I don't have to worry about pain in my wrists if I hold it crossways, so that's why I do it. So when it comes to front squats, I'm very much form agnostic. What matters a lot more is squat depth, and that your spine is still neutrally aligned, which y'all can't see from this view, but y'all live. Let's see what the temp is in here. It is 87 degrees. It is quite warm. So Supernatural, it's not a ton cooler here. Should kind of like BullMuscle is too long. Well, so BullMuscle is the full channel name, but you can call me Bull. Right, Bull is taken, I think, for Twitch. I can't just be at Bull. But yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and, by the way, for questions like that, Phil, I've answered a lot of those on my Discord if you want to know more, but feel free to ask them here. Very happy to talk more. So we got one more set of Romanians, one more set of fronts. We're gonna hit calves, we're gonna hit kettlebell squats. I think that'll be it. I might do lunges, we'll see how we're feeling. If I'm gonna do lunges, it'll be with dumbbells. So, Lab Boys mentioned something, potentially moving to Hawaii. Wasn't really planning on talking about this yet, but the cat's out of the bag. So, I did a lot of networking up in Boston. As it turns out with my career, there's a little bit more regarding a career path than I previously thought. So, you know, nothing's set in stone, but there are some interesting opportunities I've been discussing with some friends I met up there, actually all over the country, not just Hawaii. Working with the naval guys out in Pearl Harbor is one of them. As you know, Pearl Harbor is a very big port for the US military, and as you might imagine, there are nuclear-powered vessels that dock there. The same can be said for Bremerton in Washington,
San Diego, California, and even Guam. Then on the other point, on the civilian point, as someone who's very, very strongly in favor of nuclear energy, I've thought about being the change I want to see, which would mean I'd have to work for the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission. The NRC has residency positions at every commercial U.S. nuclear reactor in the country, but it also has headquarters. Those are located in Atlanta, Arlington, Texas, King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, and Rockville, Maryland. None of those locations are particularly glamorous, although I picked Rockville because it's the closest to DC, and DC is a fun city. You can also live in Rockville without a car, which makes the cost of living there a little bit more bearable. The same can be said for King of Prussia, except for King of Prussia is like super suburban, so basically you have to take the train to do anything, and SEPTA has its issues. Then again, so does the DC Metro. Anyway, the point is, there are a lot more career opportunities than I previously expected. I'm not going to take any of them immediately. My 401k is worth a fair amount of money because of how good the matching program here is in South Carolina. So, you know, any move of that nature would be 2024 at the earliest. So it's not a huge deal in the long run. Anyway, let's hit another set. This goes by Ag the Crab Man. I've never heard the Crab Man. Hey, no, fam. Only one person gets to call me Beavis. That, fam. I guess, you know what, that person's you, so if you want to, I don't know, if you want to allow people to call me that, that's just your call, I suppose. Let me do a little bit more music, more power. We ain't fucking done yet. Oh, here we go. One, two, three, four. Either 9 or 10, I lost count. I'm gonna call it 9. Alright, we got one more set of front squat. Big trigger, no gatekeep. Hey, Buzzing Ranger, good morning. Welcome to the bullpen. Good to see you. Bull is just easy to remember. And frankly, I really enjoy that name. I think it's a much better name for Twitch. And it kind of fits my personality, because normally I'm pretty chill. But if I get pissed off, get the fuck out of my way. About to stream. All right, Crash. Peace out. I might raid you later. We'll see who's live and when I go off. By the way, folks, the market is open, so we will talk about finances. It's Financial Fitness Friday. I'm actually going to talk about this potential new twist in my career path and how it relates to my finances and why I'm even considering it in the first place. Because really, I don't need the money. That clock isn't wrong. I could retire in 2025. So begs the question, well, why would I do this? And there are some reasons for that. In either case, I think I feel like I'd be doing a lot more good in the other jobs than this one. Y'all know what I do for a living for the most part. I can speak a little bit more honestly at this point, because I've learned how much of what I do is public information, so I can speak a bit more frankly. But if I worked for the NRC, I could be, helping the U.S. do what it should have done 50 years ago, switching to nuclear, decarbonizing our economy, which again, we should have been doing this in the 70s, and we made a really big mistake. We listened to paranoia generated by the fossil fuel industry and their idiots on the far left who protested building nuclear power plants after 3 Mile Island, and before 3 Mile Island, which is even dumber. It bothers me. We only have one Earth, and look, for those, I try not to get too overly political on this channel, but climate change is real. If this summer hasn't proved that to you, I'm not sure what will. There's a huge shelf of missing sea ice that has left Antarctica at this point. Even Antarctica is getting hit by climate change. It's supposed to be the coldest, darkest chunk of the year, and it's substantially warmer than average. That's going to cause a lot of problems come this winter when it's summer down on the South Pole. It's going to mean a lot more melt, and that's going to accelerate sea level rise. If you live in a coastal area, I'll put it this way, I would not, under any circumstances, be looking at buying land in Miami. I think that's a fool's game. Same with New Orleans. Those two cities are going to be doomed in the next 50 years, unfortunately. Even if we decarbonize tomorrow, they're screwed. The Chinese and the Indians will see to that. Although, to the credit of the Chinese, while they burn far more coal than we do right now, and that's the big contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, the Chinese are building half of the world's new nuclear reactors. And they did it by buying the old Westinghouse AP1000 design for pennies on the dollar when Westinghouse went tits up in 2017. So, people like to say, oh, but the Chinese are polluting, why should we care? Well, since when the fuck were we going to cede ground to anyone? We're America, goddammit, we're supposed to be the best. And that should mean decarbonizing too. We should do it right, we should do it the American way, and we should make the Europeans feel fucking ashamed of themselves. We should make it a competition. We should make it the 21st century space race. Who can decarbonize the fastest? Why not? I'll tell you what, man, this country is, I would never, ever want to be any other nationality than an American. I love this country, I do. Bottom of my heart. Always will. Only time this country ever pisses me off is because I know I can do better. Seriously. Same thing with our obesity rates. I know we as a country, we are the country that went over and supplied the world's food and armaments to beat back the Nazis. We are the country that was able to withstand the creeping, disgusting, rotten red blanket of communism in this, in the Cold War. We are capable of great things. Embrace that. Become the best American you can be. Your country deserves it. Ask not what your country can do for you. 2, 3. Oh. Come on, you got 2 more. Yes, sir. And hey, you wonder what I got as motivation when I'm doing those, when I'm facing this way? I'll show you. Here's what I see. I'm doing these front squats here. For state and for nation. God bless America.
Lab boys, no it won't. Alaska's gonna get fucked with climate change, and here's why. All the places that are currently settled in Alaska are right along the coast. Take Anchorage, for instance. Anchorage is seated at the base of mountains and glaciers. What climate change will do is melt those glaciers and cause flooding. No, keep Alaska cold. Not to mention the North Slope, where our nation's oil reserves lie in large part. Prudhoe Bay, Dead Horse, I think the native name for it is Utqiagvik. I'm probably butchering that. I'm sorry if there are any natives that I offended. The town used to be called Barrow. Those are important towns, especially if the Russians get aggressive. So we're going to use America as a base, God forbid. We don't want war. We don't wish for war. But if the Russians come and provoke us, we will win. This country will stand tall, and we will defeat any enemy that comes at us. I believe that to the core of my being. And if you don't, that's okay. All right, so now we got calves. We're gonna do 265 today. So we're gonna go with the plate sandwich here. Plate, quarter plate. Because I'm lazy and I don't feel like taking and reorganizing. This bothers my OCD a bit, but it'll have to deal with it. Now for calves, to preserve these cheap, shitty shoes, I'm actually gonna take them off and do them barefoot. But seriously, and for those of you, by the way, who are from other countries that are not Americans, and are wondering, well, why is this guy so patriotic? I would hope y'all are just as patriotic about your homelands. I believe the United States is the best, and should always strive to be better. I would hope if you're from another country, you feel the same way. Every country has something positive to contribute. I just think the United States is the best. You know what, I don't think I need a belt for this. 265 for calves isn't that much, so we're gonna go without it. I'm also gonna do a high bar. Ease the stress on my lower back a bit. Plus, it'll let me show off the abs a bit. I know some of y'all like that. I'll probably zoom in a bit more to look at that. There we go. Come on. Well, I guess I took my youth, I gave it away. So, give you one more example of why I believe in this sort of, I call it a positive patriotism. Voice actor for Dale Gribble died. I'd pour some out, but like, I need this water. But I'll give you an example of how the USSR was great. And I don't normally talk very positive about the communists because I think communism is a terrible system. But USSR put a man into space with Sputnik. And because the USSR did that,
And he forced us to clean up our act. And he made us get up there and put a man on the moon. Right, it was Sputnik. So, if it hadn't been for the Soviets, we would not have pushed the limits what man was capable of in the 50s and 60s to improve science, space, and technology. And all those improvements in technology were a big part of a lot of the booms of the latter 20th and early 21st century. So, for that reason, the fact that the Soviets pushed us to be better, I will say hats off to them. I believe we should try and compete in a similar manner to decarbonize with the Chinese and the Russians and anybody else who wants to fight us, even the Europeans. We should lay down the fucking gauntlet. That's the way you get shit done. Make it a point of national pride. Because you can't, climate change is an abstract thing. It's not something you can see visibly day to day unless you're really paying attention. So instead of that, make it a point of national pride. Make it a race. Make it a, hey, we think we can do this better. If I were, a really rich billionaire, I'd take like $1-2 billion, make it a prize. The first country to take, 50, 60, 75% of their carbon off the grid gets this, Just do something like that. Make it fun. Make it something people can get excited about, the way people got excited about the Apollo program in the 60s. There we go. Hell, as far as cutting back oil demand, the main reason I want to do it in the US is because it'd put the Saudis and the Russians right under our American boot heel. Guess what? If the US consumed, oh yeah, the AK is, I'll admit it's better than the AK. The AK was not a sophisticated weapon, but my God, you could beat on it and beat on it and beat on it and it would still work. But, somewhat caused by man, the Earth's climate has changed dozens of times. Maybe we're the only cause, a little bit arrogant. We are the vast majority of the cause. Make no mistake about it. We've got data from ice cores going back a long, long way. And we're supposed to be in a period of cooling right now, and we're not, because of how much carbon we're dumping into the atmosphere, as well as other greenhouse gases that are far more potent, methane being a big one. This is part of why natural gas isn't quite as clean as people say it is. It's still an upgrade from coal, but it should not be anything more than a short-term solution. And the solution, truly, for baseload power is nuclear. Solar flares, pole changes. That's as may be, but I promise you, man, I've done a lot of studying on this one. It's us. It's mostly us. Not to mention, getting off of fossil fuels would save millions of lives. The amount of increased causes of cancer, emphysema, bronchitis, asthma, and far other maladies for the human lungs and even mind are caused by pollution. For instance, there was a time in the United States where it was really until the 70s that we used a neurotoxin in our gasoline. It was lead. And we had, in the 60s, and even into 1972, before the ban passed, we had people paid off by the fossil fuel and the lead industry to say, oh no, lead's not a neurotoxin. We knew it was a neurotoxin as far back as the 1920s. We also have had climate scientists for ExxonMobil saying as far back as the 70s that this is real, we need to focus on it. But the answer, the problem that I have with a lot of climate change advocates is that they all want left-wing solutions, and I don't think that's necessarily the way to go. You can be concerned about climate change and not necessarily embrace every cockamamie left-wing political solution to solve the problem. There are some left-wing solutions that are a good idea, but some, such as what Germany has done, banning nuclear energy, are frankly idiotic. All right, I'm gonna do some lunges as well. Let's hit 60s. Here's one other example. You know, right, people say a big part of climate emissions is how much meat the U.S. eats, in particular beef. This is true. Using current farming methods, you do end up producing a lot more emissions, particularly methane, from beef consumption and ranching. However, you don't have to embrace the solution of stop eating beef to solve that one. There are animal feed products, mainly made from things like seaweed, that you can give to cattle that make them perfectly happy and that drastically reduce methane emissions. That's a simple, common sense solution. Let's go with that. There we go. Ugh. Here's everything that's supposed to happen. Common sense and politics do not walk hand in hand. That's because there are too many lawyers and businessmen and not enough engineers in politics. Perhaps someday I'll help change that. Oh, yeah. Well, in the 40s and 50s, we thought we were going to solve all the issues of the city by making everything dependent on automobiles. And doing so wrecked our cities in the process. Here's another really good solution I'm a fan of that is extremely fiscally responsible and kills multiple birds with one stone. And that is building Dutch-style separated bike paths to the maximum extent a citizenry will allow. And here's why. Cycling is something that costs virtually nothing to maintain, right? So damage done to a road is proportional to the square of weight on that road. So a car is going to do dozens of times more damage than a bike, and a truck is going to do dozens of times more damage than a car, right? So what does that mean? Well, it means that if you're paving a mile of basic paved separated bike paths, you won't have to fix that or maintain it for decades. With cars and highways and all that jazz, it's every couple of years, especially if you live in places like the Northeast where you get a lot of salt and grime in the winters and you get all those potholes, or if you live in the Southwest where it's so hot it actually melts the tarmac to a little bit. So bike paths are 100% a great idea. Here's the other reason bike paths kick ass. Bike paths will reduce traffic because it gets people out of cars. You can fit far more bikes on a bike path than you can cars on a lane of road. And furthermore, it reduces our shockingly bad obesity rates. Instead of burning gasoline to get somewhere, you're burning the flab off of your own ass. That's a win-win-win across the board. If you are a fiscal conservative and you want to reduce our burden on Medicaid and healthcare costs, you want to reduce the amount of money you have to spend via taxes to fix your roads, you want to reduce all of that, and then you want to reduce the negative economic outcomes of pollution, bicycle lanes are a win-win-win across the board. Not to mention, biking is manly. It absolutely is. Tell me, ladies and gay guys, right, what do you like? Do you like big, flabby butt? Or do you like buns of steel and hockey legs? I know what the answer is. If you want to become a nation of giga chads, embrace the fucking bicycle, man. the idea that bicycles are just for soy boys and, you know, that kind of crowd is stupid. There's no other word for it. Let's do another set of calves. One more thing biking solves after the set. So, if you are someone who is conservative, that is worried about how few people are able to meet the demands to sign up for the U.S. Army, and I'm not even a conservative and I care about that, the average American of my generation and of Gen Z is too out of shape to join the Army. And the Army's having recruiting problems as a result. Well, if you want a strong Army, and you get people on bike paths biking everywhere, you're going to have a much bigger pool of candidates to pick from. So there's another easy win for bikes. I'm telling you, the bicycle is one of, if not the greatest invention mankind ever came up with. It's genius. And we should do everything in our power to embrace them. Because the thing is, too, a bike path isn't going to go over budget, and even if it does, it's a drop in the water compared to a tram, a bus line, a train, or even an extra highway lane. Sounds awesome. There also needs to be someone to keep the drug addicts corralled. Passionate to them, they're dangerous to the rest of us. Don't want to take away people's freedoms. It's a sucky situation. Just go get chat butts or WhatsApp and getting rubbery just thinking about it. So I have a solution that I think is a bit. This is how you can tell I grew up in a military family. I would take the triage approach, and here's what I mean by that. There is a shortage of Narcan and drugs to revive people, and with the continued importation by illegal cartels of fentanyl and now carfentanil, which is even stronger, if you're still using and you're not actively seeking help, you're more or less signing your own death warrant because there isn't enough Narcan to go around. So I'm a big fan of, you get one, maybe two revives on the house from the state. Beyond that, you're on your own. You're signing your own death warrant if you continue to use. If you have to be revived by Narcan, literally having your life, basically you're having your soul clutched back and put into your body by EMTs. If that's not a wake-up call, you're a dead man walking. That's really it. I know that sounds cruel, but that's what triage care is. You save the people who want to be saved and can be saved. It's the best of a bad situation. I know that sounds very heartless, and unfortunately, the world is a cold place, but that's the only solution that makes sense. You have to, and I am keenly aware, by the way, that I've listened to enough Alice in Chains songs to know that withdrawals are walking through hell. But the choice is that or death, really. Because if you continue to use fentanyl, you will eventually die. Doesn't matter if you're rich, look at what happened to Prince. Doesn't matter if you're broke, look at what happens every day on the streets of the very poor areas in every American city. Fentanyl it's death. If you use it, you will eventually die. You're not going to get saved every single time. Frankly, we, the American public, can't afford to. Because all that cost, continually bailing those people out with Narcan, that's going to get paid off by the taxpayer. That's all. You got to pay the EMTs to do that. And for every person they're out reviving from hard drug use, that's another person that maybe has a heart attack or a broken leg or something like that that the EMTs can't reach. Someone who needs emergency services and it wasn't their fault. And I'm not saying it's your fault if you're a drug user. There are many, many reasons to be addicted to drugs, and all of them are to some extent sad, but making that choice to shoot up is ultimately a choice. Addiction is a demon for sure. We need to take every possible scientific measure to find ways to help cure people of that sickness. But if you continue to use, especially with the knowledge now that almost every baggie of heroin you're going to store may well be laced with fentanyl, you're signing your own death warrant. Maybe straight sit on ogle you. Phil, I'm actually bi. I just try not to talk about it because I don't like making my sexuality my image. Oh. A huge part of my audience are people that just like watching me. I get it. As long as it's within terms of service, you're free to say whatever you'd like. Even if I was straight, if you're a straight guy and you get people complimenting you, it's a good feeling. Because women sure as fuck don't do it. Not often. So if you get it from other guys, you know, I'd always be of the mindset of thanks, but I'm not interested if I were straight. Because that's the thing. It costs nothing to give someone a compliment. Be nice to people. You never know. I mean, it may be that a couple of kind words boost someone to continue doing their workout, boost someone to stick with something they don't like for their betterment. So, cheers to you. All right, I think I'm gonna do one more set of this, 2 more sets of calves, then we're gonna be done. But yeah, but be nice to one another. There's nothing wrong with saying nice words to people. Yeah, the only rule I have for this channel, you can talk whatever you want, you can say whatever you want. Just don't kick me off of Twitch. That's literally the only thing. And I think that's a fair thing to ask of my audience. Anyone who does that, like, you know, I made a political compass of different people on my channel, and there is the category of the speedrunner who comes in, says obscene shit, and then we immediately ban them. Those people are annoying, and I don't really get why they're here, but, you know, c'est la vie. Here we go. 6, 7, 8, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. Do you remember me on the street of dreams running through my memory? Phil, that's exactly how I feel. Really what I'm attracted to, more than anything else, is people who are laser focused on their goals. And that could be academic, financial, physical. That's what I am. I'm not trying to say I'm like, you know, some 10 out of 10. I'm not. I have my problems too. But what matters is about how hard are you trying to achieve your dreams. If you're not busting your ass, making the most out of the one life you get, the one chance you got to make a difference on this earth, get it together. I want someone who's just as driven as I am. And I don't really care about the gender as much. Unfortunately, I'll be honest, finding someone that driven is hard, no matter who you're looking at. You can't keep up with me? Well, that's going to be a problem for dating. Let's see what the temperature is in here. It is 88 degrees in here. So that's 31 Celsius. That's warm. We got 2 more sets and we're going in. 2, 3, 4. Huh. Ooh, bounce, bounce, bounce. Something's come over me, and I don't know what to feel. Maybe this fantasy is real. But it's still a mystery. Do you remember me? All right. Last set. Phil MC, I recommend checking out my Discord if you really want to hang out and see and do more. I've got tons of motivational content on my Discord. And advice too, from diet to exercise. And ask me any question you'd like. I love having an active chat. Last set. Last set, how bad do you want it? Let's go for something heavy. Let's go Fair Warning by Van Halen. Let's go with Mean Street. Here we go. Here we go. Eddie is shredding. Last fucking set. How bad do you want it? Da 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 da. Here we go. Hit it harder, don't try. Here we go. Oh yeah. Ew. I'd be something after all. And just ran ahead. Come on down. Down to Mean Street. Dance, baby. want it. That's what you gotta ask yourself. Every day. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to have your goals met? You giving it your all, or are you lying to yourself? Be true to yourself. Don't leave anything on the table. You only live once. Make the most of it. I'm gonna paraphrase The Wolf of Wall Street for a moment here, y'all. Alright? I've been weak and I've been strong. Alright? I've been both. I have. And you know what? You know what? I've been weak and I've been strong. And let me tell you, going through life, weak or strong, man, I choose strong every goddamn time. Let's go! Ha! Strong like bull, man. I ain't just no ox. I got the pair to match the bull. Yeah! Got Eddie shredding, baby. Full power. All right, so let's go in. I'm gonna do some handstand push-ups for y'all. Who wants to see handstand push-ups? Strong like bull, huh? Strong like bull. Strong for my country. Strong for my state. Strong for my teams, baby. Strong like Tom Wilson. Howdy, FM, good to see you. Yo, my man Audina coming in here. Yo, let me tell you about this great guy, Audina Puzzle. This boy, man, this is what I love the most about streaming. Guys like you, Audina, and here's why. This guy was honest. Motherfucker comes in, tells me, yo, Bull, I'm tired of being overweight. I want to get in shape. I want to get it together. So I give him advice. I give him calorie macro targets. Motherfucker goes out there, first goddamn month. First goddamn fucking month. He's already down over 6 pounds. That's what it's about. That's what we want. That's what we should strive to be. So everybody give Audina some fucking love in chat, because that's what we fucking want, man. You carry on, you're gonna be looking better than you ever fucking thought possible. I really do mean that, man. We're gonna do strong like a Marine. I suppose so. You wanna be. Really, the sky's the fucking limit. All you gotta do is decide how much you wanna fucking work. That's what it's about, man. I'm telling you. That's why I love hearing the success stories. I love hearing failures too, because you know what? Failure is the best teacher. You only learn one lesson from success. You can learn 1,000 from failure. I'm quoting Henry Ford there, and he's right. You can learn 1,000 lessons from failure. All you do is eat better and just walk. No hardcore weights, just walking and eating better. Exactly. You're already seeing these results. Just wait until you start hitting the weights. You're gonna fucking transform yourself if you stick to this, my man, and I can't wait to see it. It's gonna be amazing. You're gonna come in a couple months from now, looking like a fucking Chad. You're gonna have bitches, you're gonna have dudes. Dudes are gonna wanna be you, bitches are gonna they're gonna wanna be with you. It's gonna be fucking great. You're making the right decisions. I've watched you a lot. I'm gonna brag on my boy Audina here a bit. So I've watched this motherfucker go out, get his degree, bust 18-hour fucking course semesters, bust ass working at his job to try and improve his lot in life. You know what? He's fucking succeeding. If you want a good example of improvement, you think this is too far away, fucking talk to Audina. Ask him what he's doing. Because you know what? He's making those positive changes in his life to better himself. And I am really, really proud of that. It inspires me when I hear stories like that. It makes me feel like I'm doing something worth a damn here. It makes me feel like what I'm doing, talking to you guys in streams, fucking matters.
It's so gratifying. It really is the best part by a country mile of doing these streams. So, Audina, for you coming in here, I just want to say thank you. And I want to say I'm proud of you. Good on you. Down 6.6 pounds, even if I'm not weight bulking, just having huge weight loss, it's going to put years on your life. It's that simple. You are adding years back onto your life. That's what you're doing. And I just, I live on those fucking success stories, man. It's a positive feedback loop too, right? I want to be someone who's helping kickstart people, making those better decisions, because then they start making better decisions. They can influence their friends, and they can influence their friends. It's all positive feedback loop, man. It's all interconnected, right? That's what it's about. Whew. All right, raising the desk now. Let's go. Now I will say, standing desks, I do use them. The 1 day the 1 day a week of work that I can telework and have access to one. But I will tell you, it's no excuse. It's no substitute for just walking. Walking is powerful, man. This is also why I'm talking about, bikeable cities. This is why. All right, sticking with you. I used to be a muscle twink with a six-pack of 28-inch waist. Now I'm blubbery and have 33. It sucks. You can get it back. In fact, it's actually easier for you because you used to be muscled. It's much easier to lose weight if you've previously had it off. If it's your first time, it's much harder. Small changes lead to exponential results if consistent. It's what I say at the end of every single one of these streams. All right? Your decisions, make good decisions, because those decisions form your habits. Those habits form your values. Those values form an ethos. Once you get that ethos going, you got that goal, that target in your mind, you're going to be unfucking stoppable. You're going to be strong like Bull. Either up here or down here. That's what it's about. Walking is also free to do. Absolutely. It's also invigorating. And if you live like I do here in the deep south, and I'm pretty sure Audina does, unless he's moved somewhere that I didn't know about, it gives you heat resistance, which is very good. It means you will feel more comfortable in a wider range of temperatures, which makes your life easier. Don't need a gym membership or spending a shit ton on other stuff. Just walking, you are free. Well, okay. If you want to lose weight, that's true. If you want to put on muscle, you do have to do resistance training. There's a reason marathon runners are extraordinary athletes. They are incredible, but they don't have much muscle on them because they don't need it. They're very skinny. They're very, very lean. But it's not strictly necessary to do. Okay, so here's what's going to happen next. I am going to do my handstand push-ups and get a little bit more water because I am parched and I need to push it. I need to push fluids a lot today on the basis that, right, I am, trying to get over this little bug I've gotten. So I gotta really focus on putting in the fluids. Hell yeah. 1 pound at a time. That's what matters, man. That's what matters. Small changes, absolutely. Proud of you guys. This is the most wholesome chat we've had in a hot minute. This is y'all are motivating me, and I'm motivating y'all. I love that. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Best fucking thing in the world. When you have your audience on that motivational shit, it just feels so good. So I'm proud of y'all. Anyway, so here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get some water. We're gonna do our handstand push-ups, and then it is Financial Fitness Friday, so we are going to do some talking about money and financials. So stand by. I'm gonna get a little bit of water, and then can I get some handstand push-ups and hype in chat? Oh, I think I said juicy. Gotten a few follows. See, I've gotten 4 followers today. That's pretty nice. For what it's worth, we're reliably climbing towards 2,000. We might get that at the end of the year. That'd be pretty great. Hell, the followers keep rolling in. Could get it by Halloween. Who knows? Maybe I should. I've thought about setting a goal for followers, but I've never gotten enough feedback. That's the other reason I want you guys to join my Discord, right? The reason there being, I have 1,666 followers, and when I do polls in my Discord, I get maybe 10, 15 responses. That's not enough of a sample size for me to make a decision. So I'm hoping y'all show up in there. There's a lot of really great advice. If you want to make those changes and you want, if you want more or less 24-hour access to me or maximum access I can give, that Discord's the way to do it. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm active. It's a good place. We got a lot of people. We got gurus in there, people who aren't me but know a whole lot about a lot of different subjects. They're good to talk to. Okay, so it's handstand push-up time now. Who's fucking ready? Who wants to see me do some handstand push-ups? Today is the 11th as well. So I'm gonna hit abs afterwards. All right, let's do some handstand push-ups. By the way, I'll do the splits if we hit 50 viewers in chat, so just keep an eye on that. That seems as though a fair thing to do. Ooh. Give myself a bit, still a bit. Stand it, let's go. All right. How much juice do I have? I've got 34%, I'll be fine. So again, if y'all like what I do, check out that Discord. Promise you it's worth it. Oh. That's what I'm talking about, though. Wait for the camera to focus. There we go. Y'all wanna see yourself change, you have to make the conscious decision to improve. You have to admit your deficiencies, admit where you haven't improved to the level you want to, and pursue that improvement relentlessly. That's what matters. All right, here we go. Handstands. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Oh. Yeah, and hit that Discord if you like this stuff. I felt like I had pretty good control there. Lightheaded though. All right, give myself a second. Hey Phil, thank you very much for the subscription. I appreciate that. It's never expected, but it is always appreciated. You guys feel like contributing? It's again, never demanded, but it is always appreciated. I'll give you the tip link because that's the easiest way to do it. There you go. Now it's time to shred up these abs. We ain't fucking finished. No, you thought the workout was over just because we were done doing legs? Lost 0.2 pounds in 3 days. Hey, every little bit of progress, man. It's tough, Jigga. It's tough. I'm going to do this. A commitment helps. Absolutely. Make your goals public. If you make your goals public, you're much more likely to hit them because other people will try and keep you accountable. For sure. For sure. That's you can do that in my Discord. In fact, I encourage it. That's what I try to do. I could probably stand to lose about 5 pounds myself. And to really define out my abs a little bit better. I'm at 2:0. I weighed in this morning at 209. So, really 4 pounds.
So 4 pounds of body fat is a roughly 14,000 calorie deficit, which at a stable 500 calories a day deficit, in other words, if I'm eating 2,500-ish calories, it'd take me about a month. Phil, I think Rosetta is applauding you for committing to your goal. Do it, brother. You fucking got this. And again, man, you join that Discord, we will help you. We will help inspire you, motivate you, keep yourself accountable. So the trick to doing this, too, is if you motivate others, it often ends up helping you motivate yourself. It's a positive feedback loop. Join it. You won't regret it. 2, 3, 4. Oh, my legs. That's painful. I lost count. I think that's 60. That was the goal. If it isn't, I am not 100% today. I'm still a little under the weather, so I'll be okay. Maybe I'll go for a bike ride today. I'm not sure. I don't want to push it. I do need more rest today, so if I do a bike ride, it won't be a big one. Maybe I'll go for a walk instead. That might be what I do. Simply from the gay perspective, I like a buff dude. If the muscles start getting stringy looking, it looks weird to me. Oh, well, right, okay, so let me explain something, because you're new to the channel, so you wouldn't have known. But the plan at the end of this year, in the winter time, is to do a bulk. Really start hitting that squat at heavier weights. I'd like to get my max squat well into the 400s. I'm gonna buy a bike soon. Hey, let's go. That's a great idea. Bikes are money printing youth machines, especially if you can use it to replace a car. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, no, so the goal here, right, if I'm gonna bulk, I want to be pretty lean going into the bulk. I will probably end up doing that around probably November. I'm not sure yet. I'm just a little bit sore. It's from all the calves. Trigger. You're funny. You're funny. I need to post that political compass in here because that's another one of the people that are on here. I did a political compass of my audience, and I think y'all find it pretty funny. All right, so I've done 2 sets. I need to do bicycles, jackknives, and V-ups. I think jackknives is the move next. They're the hard ones. Can you grasp your hands behind your back diagonally? No. I might be strong like bull, but I'm flexible like steel girder. So, Will, the answer to your question there is no. And I'm not really all that keen to try. I hate stretching. That's why I say 50 viewers for the splits, because I fucking hate doing it. Oh, oh, that's a bad place to get a cramp. Ouchie. Okay, so I got a cramp right at the groin area, like in between the outer edges, like where my hip bones kind of go down to my upper thighs. So not right at like the crotch, but like kind of on the sides. Ooh, that is not a, that is not a pleasant place to get a cramp. Ouchie. Really, oh. Okay. Let the blood flow back to my head. We're gonna get this. Come on. 3 more sets of abs, and this is the hard one. The other 2 are easy in comparison. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 8. Come on. Come on. Oh. Oh, my abs. Your wingspan should be close to my height. It's close. I think I measured this the other day. I'm 75 inches tall, and I think I have a wingspan of about 74. I like the smallest amount of padding so things look smooth. I'm not going to kick someone out of bed for eating crackers if they have no body fat. Yeah. Oh, I will kick someone out of bed for eating crackers because they're going to make crumbs everywhere, and that will attract bugs, and that will make my sleep unpleasant. Now, I reckon I'm probably around 15% body fat. My scale said 10.5 this morning, and I know that's wrong. My scale's wonky. Some days it'll say 15, some days it'll say 9. I'm doing hanging leg raises or floor leg raises for sure. Oh, it's just a saying? I've never heard of that one before. Must be a Yankee saying. So let's do bicycles. Oh. 40. 50. 60. One more. No mas. My weight depends on how much bull makes me gain. But you sure I appreciate that. You're a Michigander? That's one of, I think, 7 states I haven't been to. 8? 9? Yep, you are a Yankee though. Texas is the state I've lived the longest. But I've lived all over, predominantly in the US, the south of the US though, so I'm a Southerner. That's my identity when it comes to what part of America am I from. I'll say a Texan, but I wasn't born there. It's just where I've lived the longest and where I went to college. So I'm guessing then, Phil, are you Go Blue or are you, I don't know what Go Spartans is. I don't know what their thing is. Are you Michigan or Michigan State? Your aunt married a Native American? Interesting. Now, if you're from above the Mason-Dixon, you're Yankee. Honestly, at this point, Maryland is Yankee. We ceded that to y'all. We don't want it. You can have it. Maryland is your problem now. You go blue. All right. You'll see. I have a big old A&M sticker, or sorry, flag behind me. I'm a proud member of the cult. Go blue means you're a fan of the Michigan Wolverines. That's in general what it means. I lived in Ohio for 2 years. They were 2 fairly formative years. I hated living there, but they were good for me. And it was there I kind of learned just how big a deal the game is. And to me, it is the second greatest rivalry in all of college football. And I think I think even Ohio State and Michigan fans will agree with me on what the best rivalry is. The game is number 2. The best to me has to be Army-Navy. Nothing compares to the pageantry, the tradition. Because, like, right, down here in the South, nobody watches the game. Even though it's a great football match almost every single year. But everybody watches Army-Navy. Doesn't matter who you are. The big house is in Ann Arbor. Yeah. I know. The Big House is one of the few stadiums that's actually larger than Kyle Field at A&M. Kyle Field is, I believe, 103,000, and I think the Big House is 109, 110, something like that. I know the Ohio State fans don't like that, and they want to put an extra few seats in the stadium just to be bigger in the horseshoe, and I love that kind of pettiness, because that's how we are in Texas. Let me do one more set here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have an interesting little analogy to make about Michigan and Texas. Oh. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 6. I think Jimmy Graham is beautiful. Yeah. All right. Okay. Whew. All right. We're doing our abs. Before we get to the finances, and we will, I want to talk a little bit more about what we were just discussing with colleges and college football. Here's what I mean. I turn on the light. A bit washed out. Turn it down just one notch. Oops, that's up. Perfect. So, regarding colleges, a Michigan fan once made this analogy to me, and it really annoys me. But there is truth to it. A Michigan fan once called A&M Southern Sparty. I don't like that analogy. It annoys me, but there is more than a grain of truth in it. However, there is one important difference. To clear up what this means, the analogy therein being Michigan is to Texas what Michigan State is to A&M, what Oklahoma is to Ohio State. The only difference here is that Michigan existed before Michigan State. Texas A&M existed before Texas did. So it's not quite little brother. The true little brother within the Texas university system for the public side is Tech. We're more the redheaded bastard child that wasn't supposed to survive, and because of World War I, we basically did. A&M's backstory is really interesting, actually. So, for those of you who don't know, A&M, being a land-grant university, was the first public university in the state of Texas. We were founded in 1876. The university in Austin, that presumably calls themselves the University of Texas, I believe that is grandiose, and therefore I call them TU, or Texas University. Yes, I am that kind of Aggie, and I absolutely am a full-on member of the cult. That's how we are, and that's how the rivalry is. It's supposed to be petty, but that university was not founded until 1883. The shortest possible version of the story here goes that Governor Oren Roberts, who at the time was running the state of Texas,
decided he wanted a flagship university in the capital. Therefore, Texas was created, and A&M got robbed of what little funding it had and pretty much all of its good faculty. So A&M, it became a school for delinquents until 1890, when a man by the name of Lawrence Sullivan Ross decided to step down from the governorship. Actually, he was previously the governor, Lawrence Sull Ross, and he decided he wanted to run A&M. And because of Ross's military background, he was a general for the Confederacy in his youth. This was, many decades had passed. He was an old man at this point, but he had become governor of the state of Texas, and General Ross instituted a military-style culture within Texas A&M. The Corps of Cadets program became very, very much the heart and soul of the university from 1890 onward, and it's still the beating heart of what Texas A&M is at its core. Now, the non-reg population, ever since the 60s, has been far, far bigger. Well, the 70s has been far, far bigger than the Corps of Cadets program at A&M. But the point remains is that a lot of the great traditions we have, the Aggie Ring, which I think my ring's in my bedroom. I can put it on if y'all would be interested in seeing it. The Ross Volunteers, which are the best drilled squad in the Corps. They are the ones who do silver taps, which is another tradition that was born then. A lot of the great traditions that come from A&M, the Fightin' Texas Aggie Band, which even every hater of A&M will still admit our band is very, very good. We do the same thing every year, but we do it with incredible precision. The way A&M does its band, it's like a Swiss watch. It's very, very good in terms of how complex it is. But it's certainly not creative in the same way that, Alabama's $1 Million Band might be, or Ohio's best damn band in the land, or you get the point. Ohio State's, excuse me. No, hold on. All right, I got to do it properly. The Ohio State. And that's how they do it. They say the, and then they just wait, which is really presumptuous, but also rather funny. Because it's funny, it'll show up in statistics. They're really serious about it, too. Even in statistics, it'll say, Ohio State U, comma, the. I appreciate that level of detail. I can fuck with that. They copyrighted the word the, and there's, again, I love that kind of nonsense that happens in college football. It's why college football is better than the NFL, frankly. But as far as A&M's concerned, so Sull Ross basically transformed the school into a school from delinquents, into a school for cadets and military men. And Ross died in 1898. The school sort of survived to the best of its ability on very meager funds and nearly got converted multiple times into an insane asylum. Texas fans, insert your joke here. But A&M managed to stay open until World War I, at which point A&M put out a massive contribution relative to its size, and Uncle Sam noticed. As a result, after World War I occurred, the U.S. government had a noted interest in making sure A&M survived, and it persuaded the state of Texas in a little ways to help give some of the permanent university fund money. This took a lot of years, a lot of litigation, and it only started in the 30s, but to give a fraction of that fund to A&M instead of giving it all to Texas. To this day, the permanent university fund is split 2 parts Texas to 1 part A&M, and nothing to either the University of Houston or Tech. It's about the only thing Aggies and Longhorns will agree on. The permanent university fund should not be touched by Tech or Houston. It's corrupt, and it is just tradition at this point. As far as still is funded as an insane asylum, hey, Leviathan, welcome to the bullpen. Hey, you know what? People say Texas A&M is a cult, and the only dangerous Aggies are the ones who don't admit it. We are, and I've yet to hear why that's a bad thing. Anywho, so A&M really was on the brink of disaster, the brink of non-existence until the end of World War I. The reason Uncle Sam got involved at that point is because half of all the Aggies to have ever graduated from A&M, we're talking class of 1880 onwards here, okay? Half of every single person that had cumulatively graduated from the university served in the First World War for the United States. That is I mean, that is, apart from the service academies, unmatched. And in the same way, we actually at A&M, we put out more people into the U.S. military than either West Point or the Naval Academy in World War II. We stayed as a all-male military cadet-only program until 1963, where first we integrated, or began integration, I should say, allowed non-regs and started allowing women. So part of why A&M is the way it is we've had, right, that was near 100 years of military cadet and corps tradition, and all that shit, yeah, it's culty as hell, it's fun. You got to make your own fun when you live in a place like the Brazos Valley. There's not a whole lot else to do, so you gotta make it. That's why we have our midnight yells. That's why we have all the traditions. And if you go to A&M, go balls in, go full on red ass, because that's what makes it fun. If you just wanted to get a normal education, there are other universities. A&M is special too because of the Aggie network, which is unparalleled. Especially if you work in nuclear, oil and gas, agricultural, engineering, or military. There will be Aggies everywhere. I can promise you that. So that's more or less the short story. Due to the oil and gas crunch in the 70s, the Permanent University Fund got very large very quickly, and because at this point air conditioning had been introduced, Texas's population was skyrocketing. So A&M grew massively in the 70s, massively in the 80s, massively in the 90s, a little bit slower in the 2000s, and then massively again in the 2010s. And as such, Texas A&M is now, I believe, one of the 3 biggest universities in the country with a campus population of 73,000 students. Whether or not that is sustainable is another question, but A&M is big and we're here to stay now. There were many, many attempts, mostly from that Orange University, to make A&M stop existing in the early days, and that was remembered. That's a big part of why in 1916 we branded their mascot, Bevo, with the 13-0 score. That's where the hatred really got going, and it remains to this day. Fuck them. Now, I will say, I will root for the Longhorns under 2 conditions. Whenever they play Baylor, because I don't think Baylor should exist, and whenever they play LSU, because I really just fucking hate LSU. Their fans are trashy, obnoxious, and they've thrown dip cans at me. But Leviathan, welcome to the bullpen. Good to see you. So there we go. There's my A&M history and traditions spiel. I love it. I'm 100% full-blown member of the cult, and I wouldn't have it any other way. The Aggie Network has helped me out a lot. I'll put it that way over the years. So, anyway, maybe I'm crazy then. I guess that's what I'd say. So it is now time to switch over to the Q&A section, and we'll talk about stock market, because this is Financial Fitness Friday. Why do I talk about finances on Fridays? It's because this is the only time at which both I am live and the stock market is open. Therefore, it makes the most sense to talk about it now. So if you guys have any money questions or financial independence questions, this is the time to talk about it. All right. So we're going to check out the stock market. We have crazy is fun. Yeah, I'd say so. The other thing too is Texas A&M is known as the 12th man. Kyle Field is known as an incredibly difficult place to play, and we are known for being very, very loyal. If you are on the student section at A&M, it will get hot, especially in the beginning parts of the year. When I was there as a freshman, we call ourselves Fish, as a fish, and as a sophomore, I believe the term for sophomore is pisshead, but that's usually only used by the Corps. I was not in the Corps, by the way. I was an engineering major, which means I could either choose doing Corps shit or I could choose to actually get my degree, because the Corps takes a lot of energy out of you, and the people who did both the Corps and engineers, that is God mode. I can't imagine how tough that was. Anyway, you're gonna be in those stands. It'll be 105, 110 degrees ambient. And then on top of that, those stands just cook in the Texas sun. So it's a sauna up there, and you are expected to stand and yell the entire game. The only time where you're allowed to sit down is if someone is injured. It's a sign of respect. We call it off the wood, although the bleachers are now metal. They used to be wood. And when the opposing team's band is playing at halftime, everybody, we all stand for the Fighting Texas Aggie band. That's to be expected. They deserve that. And we have intricate traditions and all that. And if you think that's nutty, you haven't seen Aggie baseball, which is another level. We were playing Florida one year. I've gotten a Florida pitcher to flip me the bird, or us, our collective section, fan section. We were roasting this Florida pitcher so bad he flipped us the bird as he walked off the field because he got pulled. This is, I think, the bottom of the sixth. Oh man, he was steaming. He was pissed at us. So that was fantastic. So we gave him the Bronx cheer for that one. We will get under your skin. If you go and watch an Aggie baseball game, you will not be disappointed. So going commando to save money. Gil FR. I mean, I'll be honest. Sometimes, no comment. I don't know how far I can go on that line when it comes to Twitch, but I will say one thing I do is I keep the air conditioner at what I believe is comfortable, but I should turn it up now, actually. No, that's about right. I'll usually keep it around 80 to 82 in the daytime, then 76 at night, which I think is quite reasonable. It's still far more comfortable than a lot of places have, and it's reasonable. There are people in places like Iraq that don't have electricity, right? And they can make it work when the low is 100 degrees. So don't sit here and tell me, oh, I need to have it 72 in my house. 76. Try it. You'll get used to it. Likewise, in the winter, if left to my own devices, I'll leave it no warmer than 55 in here. Because my roommate would prefer it to be warmer, we usually compromise, and I say 64, 62. As of like a month ago, I refused to sleep clothed anymore. I had no idea what I was missing. Facts, it's nice. Commando for the win, definitely. Okay, so I will say, as far as energy costs are concerned, HVAC is your biggest, unless you have an electric car, HVAC is going to be your biggest user of energy in your house. So how do you minimize that? Well, check your windows, doors for leaks. So if you have weather stripping that's kind of beat up and torn out, replace it. Get your seals right. That will help reduce leakages. If you have windows where the sun is beating in, maybe put a blackout curtain or something there for the summertime. If you live in an area with a large what's called diurnal temperature variation, that is to say, this happens much more in the western half of the United States. Take, for instance, like Utah. Utah can get plenty warm on those summer days, or Colorado can get plenty warm on those summer days, but because of the alpine elevation and the much more mild nights, even in the summertime, it'll be in the 50s or the 60s outside. So you can open up your windows, roll in some box fans, and cool the house off without having to use the air conditioner at all. If you can do that, you're going to save a massive amount of money on electricity. So there's an example. Whole life of sleep wasted by pajamas. Well, hey, better late than never, right? This cold's killing me. You can hear it in my voice. So, what else have we got? Let's take a look at the stock market and see what's going on there. Looks like a mixed bag. Ooh. Looks like VTI is down a bit today, so I might throw a little bit more money towards it. I'm a big fan of Boglehead investing. That is, put the majority of your money into broad-based index funds that track indexes like the S&P 500. I think that's, unless you really know what you're doing in the market, probably the best way to go. I am learning about investing, but I am no expert. And so I'm trying to get better. I have a little bit of money I set aside as my play money, and my record, frankly, isn't very good. It's certainly below the S&P, and had I invested in the S&P, I'd probably be a little bit closer to financially independent. But that's how life goes. I have regrets, but, you got to learn to live with them. So that's the goal. So let me explain what this clock is for those of you that are new here. what this clock means is I will be able to, if left continuing to work my day job for another 628 days, be able to retire. That would put me in retirement by May of 2025. The goal for me has always been financial independence, not necessarily early retirement. What I want is the ability to say, fuck you, I'm out. I don't necessarily need to exercise it, but I want that ability because it gives me power. I want my managers to know that I'm someone they can't fuck with. And as a result of that, I have done a lot of optimization of my finances over the years. What does that look like? Well, what it looks like is since I graduated college, I've tried to minimize my expenses, lower my cost of living. I started out, with an apartment and a new car, paid off the car, haven't bought a new one, and don't plan to. My car is very efficient. You guys saw it in the background there. It's a 2017 Chevrolet Volt. It's not expensive, it's not fancy, but it's very reliable, it's very efficient, and I've very much enjoyed owning it. It's reasonably quick too, especially from 0 to 40 off the line because it's got electric. It's got instant torque. So I very much enjoyed owning it, but it's been a very efficient way to go. The three things that are most expensive in your life are expensive housing, expensive cars, and expensive partners. I've updated it. I used to say expensive women, but men can make stupid financial decisions too. So it's expensive partners now. I have managed to avoid all three of those. First, I was in an apartment, paid rent, started networking with friends at my job in my first place when I lived back in Texas. Found cheaper rent by splitting a place. And I found further cheaper rent by splitting a place with other friends. By the end of my time in Texas, I was paying less than $500 a month in rent. And it's because I was optimizing it slowly but surely. Then I moved to South Carolina, started the same process. Originally was living in a trailer home, paying rent. Ended up finding a nice little house. Now I pay a mortgage. But that mortgage is at an extremely low interest rate. I was able to lock it in September of 2021 at 2.375% interest. So inflation is eating off the loan. Moreover, instead of living here alone, I have a roommate. She may or may not appear, depending on when her lunch break is, because she's working today. I work 4/10, so I don't work Fridays. That's why I'm able to do these streams. But as a result, between her, rent, between the money I get from splitting, the payment, that's a huge help. What that does is that allows me to have a much lower housing burden. So in fact, if you added up the section of my mortgage payment that is equity and you add in my roommate's rent, I actually have negative housing costs. It's possible. You just have to find those situations. Never stop optimizing. Memento, welcome. Welcome to the bullpen. Good to see you. Paid off a new car. I'm with you. Just want a Jeep or SUV now? Don't. SUVs are dumb. Don't get an SUV, man. They're expensive, they're wastes of money, and they're bad for pedestrians. SUVs are much more likely to kill pedestrians in an accident. I had an expensive male partner, not again. Oh yeah. Well, I will say, the dating scene has also been pretty much dead, both in my previous town and where I currently live in South Carolina. Unfortunately, that's the downside to a rural area. It's not great, unfortunately. It's not what I would call lively. But as a positive byproduct of that, well, if I'm single, that means I'm spending a lot less money on dates. So, it works out really rather nicely from the financial side. Will I stay doing that the whole time? Well, it depends on where my career goes from here. So, if left to my own devices, I'm going to continue saving the really high percentage of my income that I am now, and I'll be able to retire as early as 2025. If I go somewhere else, who knows? But either way, I've built myself a really solid, stable foundation that most people in their 20s don't have. And it's because I've made good decisions, frankly. I'm aware that I have had, some levels of privilege in my life. I'm not going to claim that I haven't, but I've done a lot. I've busted ass with that privilege. So a lot of this has been hard work. Muscle Mac, what's up, brother? The workout was all right today. I'm a little under the weather. You can kind of hear it in my voice. I've got a little bit of congestion up top. Just trying to fix that. I'm probably going to do a neti pot later today. Hopefully that'll help. But I'm gonna buy a teardrop camper. Need something to pull it with. You can pull a teardrop camper. I can pull a teardrop camper with my Volt. You don't need it. Go look at the way the Europeans do it. And I hate using Europeans as a positive comparison here, but get yourself like a Volvo Estate or a Subaru or even just a basic car. Like you can put a trailer hitch on a Camry and tow a teardrop camper. You'd be perfectly fine to do that. Yeah, seriously. There's no reason you need to own a big stupid truck just to haul a teardrop camper. A teardrop camper is not big. Why would you need a truck for that? And hell, if you're only gonna go, if you're gonna go like off-road, like super backwoodsy type shit, rent a Jeep or something for a few days or borrow a friend's. Pay him in beer or something. I have a Ford Focus. Yeah, you can haul. Dude, people in Europe use Ford Focus to haul teardrop campers or to haul campers in general. You don't need a big, again, you don't need an F450 to haul anything. Doreg, watch it. Wow, hey, welcome back. It's been a minute since I saw you, Doreg. Always good to see you. Welcome back to the bullpen. You've known me for a while. You've been one of my originals, so good to see you back, man. Good to see you back. Have a pose on me. I just don't like big trucks because they're much more dangerous to pedestrians. They cost way more to insure. They cost way more to fuel up, and they look really ugly these days. Like the new Silverado 2500, what was GM thinking? That thing is hideous. Last thing I want is a problem while hauling a camper. That would be an epic fail. You can have just as many problems with a truck as you can with a wagon or a car. I love them. I want to mow people down. Suddenly, Mikey got sociopathic. My truck. Especially around here, there's something stupid that thankfully Governor McMaster has signed into making illegal. Okay, it's getting really dark in here, and I'm wondering, I think that may mean we're about to have a massive storm. Oh, yeah. Okay, so it got really dark in here all of a sudden, and the reason is because it is about to dump water outside. It is about to get very rainy. But no, I really dislike big stupid trucks. They're also generally driven by people who are not so great at driving, because people who are not good at driving will say, oh, well, I want a bigger vehicle to protect myself if I fuck up and I crash into someone. That's fucking sociopathic, and that's creating an arms race where other Americans say, oh no, but this small car doesn't feel safe. It pisses me off too, because trucks are far more liable to roll over because they're higher up off the ground. They're far more likely to crash because they need bigger brakes, because they weigh more and they're higher up off the ground. They don't steer as well. They don't accelerate as well. They're less nimble and they're bigger. So I really, unless you are like I'll put it to you this way. The people who actually use trucks for a living generally are farm workers or like, outdoor laborers. For those people, they usually buy, used 90s and 2000s trucks. They don't buy big new trucks usually. The people who do the trades don't buy trucks at all. They buy Chevrolet Express or a Ford Transit. They buy vans because vans are superior to trucks. They are a superior class. The 2023 Chevrolet Express will haul everything you need it to, including behind, unless you've got a fifth wheel trailer. And if you've got a fifth wheel trailer, okay, fine, have your truck. But we all know that that's maybe 1% to 2% of people who own trucks. Most people who own trucks, they're cowboy Cadillacs. All they do is they're mall crawlers. They never do anything. Think of kidnappers when I think of vans. Yeah, that's a stupid media stereotype. The vast majority of white vans out there are used by contractors to do real work. Roofers, HVAC technicians, plumbers, electricians. That's what they do. The Chevrolet Express is one of the best vehicles that money can buy, frankly. It's extremely reliable. It's strong. You can haul with it. You can stow a ton of stuff in it. You can convert it into a mobile home. There's loads and loads of stuff you can do with a van that you can't fucking do with a big stupid truck. Not to mention, the cool thing with vans is that they're also a lot better for pedestrians should an act. Oh, that was a big thunder. Okay, we may have to raid someone fairly soon on the basis that Phil MC, so you were saying get a hitch attached to my Focus? Well, look up tow ratings. So the Focus is a car sold both in the United States and in Europe. So there may not be a tow rating here in the United States, but go look up what the European tow rating is and then use that appropriately to see if you can haul your teardrop camper. I don't know how big your teardrop camper is, and I don't know what the rating of the Focus is on the top of my head. But I would definitely consider it, yes. In fact, I have a tow hitch on the back of my Volt. Why not? If it works for the Europeans, it can work here. Yeah, okay, fine. You're not going to be speeding along at 80 miles an hour hauling a camper in your Focus, but you're not supposed to do that with a truck either. Same thing with U-Hauls. Like those U-Haul campers, they're supposed to go 55 to 60 max. It's the same thing. Haven't bought it yet, but the money is saved. Don't buy a truck. If you're going to buy a truck, buy one used at least. New trucks are a giant money pit. You lose so much in depreciation. And again, they cost far more to insure. They cost far more in gasoline. They're inefficient. They're harder to park. If you have, a small garage, you can't use it with a truck. Oh, you haven't bought the camper. Well, I don't know how big the camper is, but, again, if the camper is even just reasonably sized, and a teardrop usually isn't very big, it's a teardrop, you should probably be able to haul it with a Focus. And if you decide, okay, the Focus is still too underpowered to do it, go look at what the Europeans do for caravans. Again, it's usually, estates. So look at maybe a used Volvo or a Subaru or, again, a Toyota Camry. Or if you want to go really fucking bone simple and go for 100% max reliability, haul it with a Crown Victoria or a Mercury Grand Marquis. Those old Panther bodies were built like tanks, and they last forever. You won't get as good gas mileage because it's got a V8, but those things are very, very reliable. Teardrops are pretty light, but I want the one with the grill and kitchen hidden in the roll-up. See, you just have to figure out what the weight is. That's the key. Figure out how much it weighs. Because if it's less than like 2,000 pounds, yeah, you can haul it with a car. You just won't be able to go as fast. You're going to have to put your hazards on going uphill every so often. But, okay. Oh no, you have to go up a hill at 45 instead of at 70. It's the end of the world. No. It's not necessary. It's, okay, big stupid trucks for day-to-day people like you and me is a bit like saying, I need to drill a hole into my wall to hang a picture frame, right? I'm going to go and use an industrial-sized drill press to do it. That's what using an F450 to accomplish your day-to-day tasks is. It's using a tool that is not fit for the job. It's overkill. That's the best metaphor I can come up with. Other things. So let's talk a little bit about. I'll let you all talk anything about. If you got any other financial questions, diet questions, fitness questions, this is sort of the Q&A section of my stream. If not, I'm going to probably look to raid someone, but I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about, hey, we got ourselves a follow. Thank you very much. Lippy G, thank you very much for the follow. Well, I installed my tow hitch on my car. I DIY'd it. The hitch cost me maybe $150, and, granted, I only use it for a tow basket or for a, bike rack, but there's no reason you can't, get a professional to do yours if you're so inclined. There are people who do it. But Libby G, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the bullpen. I'm going to talk a little bit about the upcoming schedule. I'm going to be live a little bit earlier than normal. I'm thinking around 8:30 a.m. I'm going to go live. That's a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The reason is because I am going to have an electrician come over, take a look at the circuit inside the garage, and hopefully eliminate the problem I've had with not having air conditioning in there. So that's the goal there. We'll see how that goes. That's why we're going to start a little early tomorrow. Oh, and that was lightning. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap up here and probably look to raid someone because the power may go out shortly. Anyway, so if the stream stops, assume the power has gone out. I'll put a message on my Discord if that's what occurs. So let's go ahead and just say, what's your schedule for streaming? Normally it is Thursday afternoons, Friday mornings, Saturday mornings, and Sunday mornings. So at the same time normally, 9 a.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. for Thursdays. But this week it's going to be that same schedule for today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Next week is going to be a little odd. I'm going to be out in Washington State, so I'm off on vacation. So there will not be much streaming next week. If you want to hang out with me, though, I will be on the Discord. So that Discord's really going to be worth enjoying. So I would definitely say, if you haven't already, let me go ahead and type it in here. Check out my Discord. And if you have problems getting the roles, let me know. You got to click the little check button to accept the rules, and then click through your roles. NH, I'm just going to call you NH there. That's hard to say. Is it bad to have a 3-week break because of sickness? Yes. You're going to atrophy if you don't lift for 3 straight weeks. This is why, even though I'm a little under the weather, right? I got a little bit of sinus gunk and a little bit of nose congestion, a little bit of throat soreness. I'm staying, I went out there and busted ass in the gym. And frankly, I feel better because I did so. Now, I'm not going to go quite as intense, and that's what you should do. You should maybe ease the intensity a touch, but as long as you're feeling, good enough and, you're in a place where you won't get others sick, wipe down your equipment. If you're feeling really sick, maybe wear a mask. That's kind of up to you. But I have my home gym, so I don't have to worry about that. Yes, and if you really feel too sick to lift, at least go out and walk. Don't just be a couch potato, because that's bad. That's bad for your long-term muscle retention. Drink lots of water. Try to get more sleep than normal. Eat lots of vegetables. Eat spicy food in general. I think spicy food's pretty good for, like capsaicin's good for your immune system. But yeah, in general, I would say try not to go that long without lifting, especially if you are interested in building muscle. Your muscles do begin to atrophy after disuse for a few weeks. So that's just my take. So that's sort of the upcoming schedule. Yeah, next week I'm going to be off. Then it'll kind of go back to normal, which is Thursday afternoons, Friday mornings, Saturday mornings, Sunday mornings. I really do like listening to you guys. I like feedback, getting ideas and examples. Put them in my chat in Discord, because then I can actually write them down. If you just put them in my Twitch chat, it gets buried, and then I can't go back and reference, what was that guy saying about X or Y? Excited for going up to Washington. I've got a new book from the library that I'm going to read. It's called Confessions of a Recovering Engineer. It's about from the guy who founded the organization Strong Towns, which is about building communities that are much more resilient and much more fiscally responsible than our current car-dependent, suburban-laden crap holes, frankly. I'm a country boy. I live out in the sticks, and I fucking hate the suburbs. I love big cities. I have nothing wrong with the big cities, but it should be cities and rural. Suburbs are the worst of both worlds. You live in an HOA with fascist neighbors that will report you for having a fucking birthday party and having friends over. Suburbs cost a shit ton of money. The schools are overrated, and your kids don't ever get a really good experience because they're dependent on you to drive them anywhere to get places, because they can't just walk and be free and go and do stuff on their own. Suburbs are terrible in general. Now, there are some suburbs that don't suck, ones that are usually built before the dawning of the car that have, streetcar lines and such, but those are almost always extraordinarily expensive to live in. So I'm a big fan of the city, and I'm a big fan of the country. There are benefits, pros and cons to each, but the suburbs in general are worse than both. So fuck the suburbs, go rural, go urban. Anything else updates with the channel? That's about it. NH, it's good to hear you're getting better. I strongly recommend, getting back into it. Maybe ease into it. Start, going for walks, maybe a bike ride or two. Jog if you feel up to it. And then, yeah, get back in the gym. Get back in the gym. Don't let it stop you. So, yeah, that's a big thunderstorm coming in. So, we're going to look to raid someone. Who do we got to raid today? Might raid Supernatural. She was in here earlier, and I like her. God, I've got 6 different... I got Joe Workouts. I've got Limitless. I've got Supernatural. I've got Stars and Bars. Supernatural's doing food and drink. I've got W. Ramir, Bam Bam. I haven't raided Bam Bam. Haven't done anything there. So I think we're going to raid Bam Bam. Because I owe him one, frankly. So we're going to raid Bam underscore. Bam underscore. Bim underscore. Bim. All right. So I want to say thank you to Lippy G, Juicy Fruit Fantasy, C-Dub, Milos, Rosetta. Thank you all very much for the follow today. Phil, thank you very much for the subscription. Jake Finney, thanks for the gift sub. Mr. Amiibo, thanks for the bits. Ben Fatal, thank you for the sub. And Share, thank you for the bits. All right. That's funny. Yeah. All right, so the raid message is going to be... We're going to raid Bam Bam Bim Bim. Raid message is Bull Rush. Thank you all very much for coming out. So as always, I will be live again tomorrow at 9 in the morning. Make good decisions, okay? Those good decisions form your habits. Those habits form your values. Those values form an ethos. That ethos can be the guiding star through the rough waters of life. Come in for the hug. Much love, y'all. See you tomorrow. All right, YouTube, it's been fun. See you tomorrow.